Welcome to Excuses, the podcast that peels back the layers of a small town life, uncovering the hidden horrors lurking just beneath the surface of Joiceville, North Carolina. From the tale of a quaint little diner to the chilling corporate secrets of Blind Corp, this isn't your ordinary post-apocalyptic survival story. No, this is something much darker, much weirder, much funnier, perhaps. Told from the perspective of the only survivor, you'll dive into a quirky, fragmented recollection of chaos and growing dread that led to Joiceville's downfall. Oh, and a little bit of warning before we get started. Excuse Us contains mature content intended for a mature audience. Strong language, and let's just say, a rather twisted sense of humor is intended. Listener discretion is definitely advised.
Let's go. Welcome back to The Joy of Joiceville, where we explore the heart and soul of our beautiful town and the wonderful people who make it what it is. Today, I have a very special guest, none other than the man, the myth, the legend, Jimmy Sizzlin Jim cooks, everyone. You might know him from the super awesome diner. Yeah, that's right. You're a local diner over Route 7. Maybe you've tried his legendary omelets. I mean, that's how I met him today. How's it going, Jimmy?
Hey, Jack. Thank you for having me. It's quite a surprise if you ask me. I mean, I wasn't expecting to do an interview, you know.
I mean, you're a legend.
But you know, all's good here. Always happy to talk about Joiceville and, you know.
Thank you.
Share a bit of my journey.
Absolutely. So, Jimmy, you're a hometown favorite, right? Born and raised here in Joiceville.
Sure.
People love your story and how you came after serving in the Marines. You really built quite a reputation for yourself at the diner.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a wild ride. Joiceville's been my home. No matter what I've been, diner gave me a place to settle back in after... everything I've been through.
Oh, man. And people are dying to hear about it. Quite literally. You mentioned before your military service and your time overseas. A little bird told me that's where you got the nickname Sizzlin Jim. Care to share that story?
Yeah, well, that's just it. It involves some hungry Marines, if you ask me, and a hot skillet. A bunch of, let's call them uninvited guests.
Oh, no.
They kind of don't leave when you tell them to.
Wow, that sounds intense. You always had a way with food, huh? Something tells me this story has more to it than cooking.
It wasn't just cooking, Jack. There were other things that followed us back. I know people don't like talking about it, but where I stand, it started for me this nightmare.
Nightmare? What do you mean by that?
You ever wonder why all these strange things are happening around Joiceville?
Not particularly.
Why people go missing?
No, not really.
Or how Blind Corp except shop here open. No. Let me tell you. It ain't a coincidence, Jack. Blind Corp's involved in things.
But we can't really get into the Blind Corp.
Don't want to talk about.
We discussed
dangerous things,
Jimmy.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gather around to prepare to have your taste buds taken to new heights. Introducing the latest, greatest, most awesome drink sensation to ever hit the shelves. It's hop juice. That's right, folks, hawk juice, the drink that's smoother than the summer's breeze and it packs a punch stronger than a hawk's dive. Is it soda? Is it beer? Why, it's both. The only drink bold enough to combine the fizz and soda with a thrill of a fine, refreshing beer. By Wait, there's more. Now with 50% less of those pesky red chemicals. Blah, 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 blah. You know the ones. So grab a bottle and worry less about what you're drinking and more about how fast you can crack open another hawk juice.
well, I mean, Blind Corp's done a lot of great things for Joiceville. Jimmy. They sponsor the very show. In fact, as I told you before we recorded, and during our emails, it helped bring jobs and develop the area. I mean, let's not forget about the beautiful park. You know that beautiful park? It used to be not a park. It used to be a pond, and now it's a beautiful park. They founded it last year.
Fucked it up. Oh, yeah, the park. Sure. It's a park now.
Yeah, it's a beautiful park.
Yeah. They did kill the flora and fauna that used to be there, but now it's a park. You're right.
All right.
They're covering up with it. That's what's really going on. Why they cover up the pond?
It's not cover up.
You think it's coincidence that we got these weird chemical spills going on?
What
the stuff that people see near the lake at the night?
Jimmy.
I fought things overseas, Jack.
I don't doubt it.
Things that ain't natural.
I mean...
So does nightmares. I swear. They follow me back.
I don't doubt for a second.
You ever heard about...
What?
HAWK initiative? For real. For real.
The Hawk Initiative. Let's not
for real, Jack. For real.
dwell into some online forum conspiracy. I think you've been listening to too many late night podcasts and radio shows. Blind Corp's been a blessing to the town. They employ half of Joiceville, and they've done a heck of a good.
Yeah, good for them.
I mean, it's good
for keeping people
for
quiet.
all of us.
You really think that's all what it's about? You don't know what I've seen, Jack. What we've all seen out there. Right here in Joiceville, people disappearing, people showing up who ain't themselves.
I mean, that's not that kind of show.
I saw men turn into monsters, Jack.
Jimmy.
Real monsters. Stuff of nightmares. This stuff of horror movies. Blind Corp's not innocent. They're behind some dark shit, motherfucker. The whole operation is fucking twisted.
I mean, Jimmy. Okay, Jim.
I'm just saying.
Let's take it a step back here.
You just don't want to listen to. You just don't want to hear it.
Start over and
I guess. Well, I'll take that.
I think we're starting to get a little bit off topic, and let's just regroup for a second.
Listen, man, I'm just talking about what people want to hear. It's one we're saying.
It's just too much. There's just too much going on.
What's going on? Is that one of them?
I'm sorry, that was my phone.
Is that just a check-in on the show?
Yeah, they listen to the conversations live. So
great. They got to tap your phone too.
Can we stop and pick it up again in a second?
Sure. All right, that's fine.
Yep.
That's fine.
Feel the rush of hawk's wings soar to new altitudes of flavor, whether you're chilling by the grill or out in the town or hanging with a fellow stuff to work. You know what we do. You know what we do. Hawk juice will take you places no ordinary drink can. Darling, is that hog juice in your hand, or you're just happy to fly high? That made no sense, but I love it. So don't wait, friends. Head on down to your local store and pick up a 6-pack of hog juice, the only drink endorsed by real hawks and the fine folks at Blind Corp. Remember, there's a hawk in every bottle. Not literally, that would be awful for animals. We don't promote animal cruelty and say, an adventure in every sip. Hog juice. Get yours today before it flies off the shelf. Warning, excessive consumption of hawk juice may result in spontaneous excitement, thrilling conversations, and an inexplicable urge to fly. Blind Corp is not responsible for any hawk-related hallucinations. Drink responsibly.
Okay, all right. So if you're just joining in the conversation, I am here today with the one and only Jimmy Sizzling Jimmy, and we're talking about a little bit about everything against my wishes. So let's take a step back. I think we're staying off a little bit of topic earlier, so let's keep things positive, okay? This is the joy of Joiceville, after all. Everyone's favorite podcast. I mean, we have over 200 downloads just in 2 years, so, very popular, very popular. And Blind Corp has generously sponsored our show because of our, incredible entrepreneurial journalistic integrity, and they might be offering us a spot on their local broadcasting. Yes, granted, it might be around the early hours of 1 to 3 a.m. But you know what? And they're forcing me to have a co-host. But you know what? We're driving in stride, okay, Jimmy? Thank you. So maybe we stick to nice parts of your story, okay? Like your work at the diner. I hear your omelets are to die for.
Well, that's the problem, Jack.
Yeah.
Everything's always got to be positive.
Yeah, I mean,
no one
that's
wants
what the
to
show
talk
is.
about
It's
the real stuff. The real stuff is killing people.
Jimmy, is this it?
Blanco's got his claws deep in this town.
It's not.
You think they just find things on the goodness of their heart?
Yes, I do.
They're covering up some huge, man.
It's not a cover-up,
Some that's got out of control.
Is sometimes
Like when it did,
things are just the way they
saw
are.
it. Overseas, man.
All right, Jimmy. Let's ease up on the conspiracy talk. Okay, this is a family.
Man, it ain't no
show.
conspiracy,
Kids,
man.
people listen to it on the way home. They want their minds to be no.
But they want to hear about it, man.
Excuse me.
They want me to.
Excuse me.
They want to hear the
Have we got a mindful of what we're putting out there, folks? Come here to hear about good things happening in Joiceville, not wild theories about what did you say, monsters?
Whitewashing it. I'm making this shit up. No, listen. No, Jack, now listen. Now, I'm making shit up, man. People are too scared to speak about.
Listen.
But it's all connected. The missing folks, the strange sightings, Blind Corps are all the center of it all, man. They're playing with things they shouldn't.
They're not.
And only a matter of time before we get more people heard.
Okay,
you mark
Jimmy.
my words, Jack.
Okay, Jimmy.
Sorry.
I'm gonna have to stop you right here. I think we're done talking about Blind Corp. Like I said, the show is sponsored by them. We appreciate the opportunities they brought to Joiceville, and I'm sure our listeners would rather hear about your time at the diner, not monsters.
Donkey motherfucking poop. Yeah, Jack. Yeah. Keep on ignoring it.
They're fine.
Keep on
Some things
pretending
are just
everything's fine.
some things.
But now, one day, you're gonna see it yourself. When you do, don't say I didn't warn you.
Okay. Well, that's all the time we have for today, folks. Thanks for joining us in the Joy of Joiceville, Joiceville's #1 downloaded podcast outside of Hacky Jacky and Tom's Fiddle's Good Time in the Barnyard and Tets and Friends. The big thanks to Jimmy Cooks, Sizzlin Jim. Sorry, can we no, we're just gonna, for coming in and sharing some interesting thoughts. Thank you, and special thanks to, of course, the Blind Corp for making this show possible and sponsoring our Patreon. Until next time, Joiceville, stay safe and keep enjoying the beauty of our wonderful town. What the actual fuck, man?
Right, man. I thought you asked me to talk about something real, and then you. Well, you know what? Thank you.
Jimmy Cooks wasn't always the laid-back, witty chef who flipped omelets like they were works of art at Joiceville's super awesome diner. Known throughout town as Sizzlin Jim, Jimmy's culinary journey was one forged in the fires of adversity, steeped in loss, and shaped by the strange and mysterious circumstances that seemed to follow him like a shadow. His story is one that interweaves the horrors of war, personal tragedy, and a relentless pursuit of the perfect dish, all while uncovering hidden truths buried beneath the surface of Joiceville's quiet streets. Born and raised in the small seaside town of Joiceville, Jimmy had always been drawn to food. Growing up near the water, he learned early on that life moved in quiet, unpredictable ways, just like the waves, rolling in and out, full of secrets. His family was tight-knit, and every family gathering was marked by big meals filled with love, laughter, and lots of butter. As he grew, his passion for cooking only deepened, eventually leading him into the Marines, where he served his country while honing his culinary skills, cooking for his fellow soldiers during downtime. The diner was buzzing with the usual morning chatter, plates clinking, coffee mugs refilling, and fresh pancakes wafting through the air. But behind the kitchen door, Jimmy Sizzlin Jim Cooks was in his world. Eyes narrowed as he cracked another egg, searching for that elusive, perfect omelet. "Hey, Jim!" Waitress Thumber 1 called out, sliding past him. "You ever gonna tell us how you got that nickname?" Jimmy chuckled softly under his breath, but his hands never stopped moving. The skillet in front of him sizzled as he tilted it just right, letting the egg mixture set perfectly before adding his secret blend of herbs. "You really want to know?"
Y'all really want to know?
He asked, voice gruff but playful, a mix of amusement and something deeper, something darker that lingered just behind his words. All right.
All right. Listen up. Listen close.
Jimmy's voice dropped lower as the memories came flooding back, sharp and vivid as the crackle of oil in the pan. "It was during my time in the Marines."
It was during my time with the Marines. We were deployed in this godforsaken corner of the world. No names, no maps, just orders. The place had been hit with some kind of chemical attack, and before we knew it, well, we weren't fighting the usual enemy. The gas, it did something, man. It did something to these people. Turn them into...
He paused, flipping the omelet with the ease of someone who's done it 1,000 times. But the look in his eyes told of a man who had faced death and worse. "Zombies,"
For a lack of better words, zombies.
he said, the word heavy, like a curse.
Fast-moving motherfuckers, too. And hungry.
Zombies. Zombies, for real. Come on.
Jimmy's expression didn't change. He stared at the golden browning edges of the omelet like he was seeing something far, far away.
I ain't joking. We ran out of ammo. All I had was my skillet. Still hot from making the squad's last meal.
Still hot from making the squad's last meal. He gave a half smile, one that didn't quite reach his eyes.
Let's just say I put it to some good use. Knocked out of those things out cold. Snapped some necks and heads with it. Man, I've never been happier to have an iron skillet. That skillet saved my life, and I saved a whole others with that too. After that, they called me Sizzlin Jim, the Marine who fought off zombies with a frying pan.
The Marine who fought off zombies with a frying pan.
With a motherfucking frying pan.
Dylan stood there, frozen, unsure if Jimmy was pulling their leg or telling the truth.
Yeah, right. You're ridiculous. That's okay. Come on. I heard about it.
Jimmy didn't argue. He didn't have to. The truth was always heavier than disbelief. The kitchen was suddenly quieter after that. The clang of pots and pans dimmed as if everyone was processing the weight of his words. But the past didn't let go that easy. Jimmy had come home to Joiceville, expecting some kind of peace. But instead of finding solace, he was met with another tragedy. His family, the only tether he had to this world, gone in a single, cruel moment. A car accident had taken them from him, leaving him adrift, with only his skillet and his grief to keep him company.
Yeah, and that's when I opened Sizzlin Jim's.
Jimmy said, his voice almost too low to hear over the hum of the kitchen. I needed something to hold on to, so I cooked, poured my soul into it. People loved it, at least at first. Southern comfort food, with a twist. Fried chicken with a hint of Thai spice, shrimp and grits with a smoky paprika sauce. It was the one thing I had left that made sense.
I needed a new perspective in life.
But life had a funny way of kicking a man when he was down.
And these motherfucking social media types came around. You know, the TikTok motherfuckers, they start calling me the gay chef of the South. Like that was all I was. Reduced me to a label. And questioning if I was even authentic. If I was original, they made me look like an asshole. Can you believe that shit? Like I wasn't good enough
from my own story.
Jimmy's grip tightened on the spatula, his knuckles white for a brief second before he relaxed and slid the finished omelet onto a plate.
It hit my business hard, man.
He admitted, staring at the food in front of him as if it was a reflection of something lost.
But I kept on cooking, and owls are gonna let them break me. I was not.
But I kept cooking. I wasn't gonna let him break me.
But they did. And that's when Miss D came to my life. She found me.
He said, his voice warming slightly.
Offered me a job at the super awesome diner. I wasn't running the show no more, but I got to cook again. And that's what mattered. Mrs. D saw something in me, something worth keeping alive.
The diner had become his new home, and Jimmy, ever the artist, had found ways to add his own flair to the established menu. Customers raved about his creations. His fried green tomatoes with an unexpected kick. His legendary hash browns that seemed to melt in your mouth. But Jimmy wasn't just the heart of the kitchen. He was the heart of the diner. He mentored the younger cooks, shared his stories, his laughter, and even his pain. And every now and then, he'd let them in on a little secret. But Jimmy's obsession with secrets didn't stop with food. He had another hobby, digging into the strange and mysterious. Conspiracy theories, government cover-ups, experiments gone wrong. Joiceville had its fair share of stories, but Jimmy had a knack for finding the threads others missed.
Shit, you ever wonder what really happened with Blind Corp?
He asked, the usual spark returning to his eyes.
They're behind more than just zombie stuff. You know, something bigger, darker. This town ain't what it seems.
Something bigger, darker. This town ain't what it seems. But waitress number 1 didn't ask for more. Maybe she didn't want to know. Maybe she wasn't ready to believe. Jimmy smirked, knowing better than to push. He served the omelet and winked.
One day you'll see, Blood. One day you'll see.
One day, you'll see. Because for Jimmy, the truth, like the perfect omelet, was always just out of reach, waiting for the right time to be uncovered. And until then, he'd keep on cooking. This episode is made possible by listeners like you. Visit our website at lifedesign.net/excuseus.
For support or additional information, please visit our website or Patreon page at patreon.com/rodpoolart.
Tonight's production of Excuse Us, a mystery drama with delightful undertones of humor and eldritch horror,
was produced by Rebecca Lake Pool and Rodrigo Pool. Written and directed and performed by Rodrigo Pool in association with R&R Aside Audio Theater.
Music and sound effects by Epidemic Sound. Some other sound effects were recorded live on set. Voice modulation by 11 Labs. If you're enjoying this production, please make sure to review or subscribe to our show wherever you listen to your podcast.
Check out our Patreon page for bonus content.
Until next time, this
is Rodrigo Pool saying thank you very much for listening.